Forget the deep-range triples and the impossible assists. Caitlin Clark just signaled a seismic shift in the WNBA landscape during a high-stakes clash with Nigeria, and the impact is deafening. For 2 grueling years, Clark has operated as the league's ultimate professional, absorbing unprecedented physical punishment and blatant officiating oversights without a whisper of protest. That era of silence is officially over. In a calculated move that bypassed theatrical gestures for raw, cold intensity, Clark confronted the officials to demand the respect her caliber of play deserves. This wasn't just a disagreement over a foul. It was a strategic line in the sand, proving she will no longer be a silent target for dangerous non-calls or questionable whistles. This evolution in her psychological warfare marks the most critical non-basketball play of her historic career, forcing a total reckoning for officiating standards across the association. We are dismantling the surface-level noise to reveal how this moment of defiance changes the Indiana Fever's trajectory and the entire future of the league forever.
This is what you got to do. Now, for all the people that's saying Caitlin Clark whistle ain't fixed, watch this play right here. Caitlin Clark told the referee to call the first foul, then hit a FU3. Watch this. Look, so the referee ain't call it, right? Boom. Referee on the. So if you guys watch this clip, this referee in the back called the same foul. Caitlin Clark went
to grasp the true weight of this moment, you have to look beyond the standard friction of a high-stakes game. While players and coaches arguing calls is as old as the sport itself, the context here is unprecedented because this is Caitlin Clark. We are talking about a generational talent who has endured more off-ball grabbing, aggressive targeting, and blatant physical hostility than perhaps any guard in league history. If you look back at the tape from her early career, the pattern of restraint is staggering. This is the same athlete who was leveled by a vicious hip check from Chindi Carter, a play that dominated national headlines, only to remain completely composed and professional at the podium. She has been systematically knocked down, face-guarded full court, and subjected to defensive schemes that border on reckless. Yet she consistently refused to point fingers at the officials. Even recently, when Aaliyah Boston or opponents like Alana Smith have been involved in dangerous closeouts, including the career-threatening landing zone fouls that have sidelined icons like Kawhi Leonard, Clark's public response was nothing but praise for the referees. So, why the sudden, sharp shift in demeanor? Why did she choose an exhibition match against Nigeria to finally draw blood and hold an official's feet to the fire mid-game? The answer isn't in the contact itself. It's in the timing, and that timing is a total game changer.
And did it again. And so, as you guys can see here, Caitlin Clark is showing her authority. She's showing her authority to these referees now. Like she ain't scared. Look at her. Watch her. Signal. Signal to the ref. Call the foul. Now watch her do the same thing. Boom. Now, as you guys can see here, now Caitlin Clark do get flat because she lead with this arm here. But if you guys see right here, she's completely cutting Caitlin Clark off. That is a foul. And look at Caitlin sold it. And I'm just loving this from Caitlin. I'm loving this.
Just days before this viral explosion, following a masterclass 21-point performance against the Dallas Wings, Caitlin Clark utilized the podium to strategically weaponize the league's new collective bargaining rules. While she appeared the ultimate professional, calmly praising the officials for tightening the whistle on excessive holding and off-ball interference, the subtext was a tactical strike. By publicly endorsing these stricter enforcement standards, Clark wasn't just being diplomatic. She was setting a trap. She was signaling to the league office, the referees, and every defender in the association that the era of the physical gauntlet is dead. Her praise established a rigid baseline of expectation. I survived the old regime, but under these new rules, I expect a whistle for every illegal grab and every impeded move. When the officiating in the Nigeria game fell below that standard, Clark didn't throw a tantrum. She enforced a boundary. This was a high-level power play by a franchise cornerstone who finally understands that in professional basketball, you don't just play the game, you dictate the politics of how it's called. This wasn't a loss of control. It was a calculated demand for accountability from a player who who refuses to be targeted any longer.
I mean, or top 10. It's crazy to me that she didn't make top 10. Look at this clutch shot right here. Just unguardable. Kelsey Mitchell, 17 minutes, man. 17 points. Ball. Raven Johnson, man. Raven Johnson looked it pretty damn good, man. I cannot lie. Even the commentators was talking about Raven Johnson, how good she makes
Johnson,
the people look.
Cunningham, Mitchell
Look at this.
and finishes.
The inclusion of Hall of Famer Candace Parker's analysis elevates this narrative from a simple highlight to a historic turning point. On her Post Moves podcast, Parker, a basketball mastermind, drew a definitive parallel between Caitlin Clark and Stephen Curry, noting that their offensive gravity makes them a nightmare to officiate. Just as defenders must resort to constant grabbing and jersey tugging to track Curry's movement, opponents are forced into physical interference to prevent Clark from launching logo threes or carving them up with lethal passes. Parker didn't just diagnose the problem. She issued a tactical mandate for Aaliyah Boston to become Clark's Draymond Green, the designated enforcer. The directive is clear. Boston must set punishing, bone-crushing screens and protect her superstar by ensuring any cheap shots are met with immediate consequences in the paint. When a legend of Parker's stature validates that Clark is held to a different, unfair standard, it changes the entire equation. By confronting the officials during the Nigeria game, Clark wasn't just venting. She was executing veteran-approved psychological warfare. She was signaling a total departure from passive acceptance, forcing the league to acknowledge her elite status and demanding that the Indiana Fever transition into a more aggressive, protective era of basketball.
Urging to Caitlin, how she's being more aggressive with these referees. She's making sure they're doing their damn job. They're calling these fouls. They're not being fugazi, because there'd be a whole lot of fugaziness going on. But overall, solid game, man. Stephanie White gonna have to fix this whole rebounding situation. Let's check out some of these highlights, man, because I'm very interested to see what they gonna say about these.
This shift doesn't mean Caitlin Clark is transforming into a constant agitator who risks ejections. Her core identity remains rooted in total dominance through elite skill and vision. The clash against Nigeria proved exactly that. In extremely limited minutes, she was surgically efficient, racking up 12 points and 4 assists on a staggering 75% shooting. She dictated the tempo without breaking a sweat, leading the Indiana Fever to a 105-57 demolition. With Clark's gravitational pull opening the floor, Kelsey Mitchell exploded for 17 points, while Aaliyah Boston and Michaela Onyenwere operated with flawless precision. Yet, despite the lopsided box score and cohesive team play, that single moment with the officials remains the most vital takeaway of the preseason. It was a strategic opening salvo for the 2026 campaign, a clear, aggressive warning to referees that the silence is over, a notice to defenders that their physical intimidation has failed, and a powerful mandate to her teammates to stand their ground. The good soldier has been replaced by a savvy veteran leader who knows that winning requires protecting your territory as much as hitting your shots.
Rebounds. Like, is anybody even going to ask her? Ty Harris showed up today. She definitely did. I can't even lie, including this tough 4-point play. Watch this play right there.
And Boston.
Nasty. Watch this. Boom. Watch this play. Boom. Off the dribble. Nasty. Kelsey Mitchell not making top 5.
The new collective bargaining agreement rules are a vital strike for the safety and aesthetic of the sport, and early enforcement signals a long overdue victory for fluid, high-octane basketball. However, the true litmus test for the WNBA's commitment to its stars begins now. Historically, professional officiating tends to regress during the regular season, with referees swallowing the whistle as the stakes rise and playoff intensity looms. For the league to capitalize on its massive cultural and financial momentum, this strict, by-the-book standard must remain ironclad through every grueling matchup. We are witnessing the evolution of Caitlin Clark. The polite rookie who silently endured a physical gauntlet has been replaced by a commanding, authoritative powerhouse demanding respect from every person in the arena. A Clark who pairs historic shooting efficiency with refusal to be intimidated is the most dangerous version of this athlete we've ever seen. With opening night imminent, The league office and every opposing defense are officially on notice. The silence is broken, the standard is set, and the era of passive acceptance is dead. This is WNBA Pro, and we will be meticulously tracking every whistle and tactical shift this season. Subscribe and hit the bell to stay locked in. Should Clark continue this aggressive psychological warfare with officials? Or should her teammates handle the enforcement while she focuses on pure execution? Sound off in the comments. The new era of the WNBA is here.